when I tell guys, I don't, you know, there's three things, when we talk about vets, there's those vets who, I served in the guard, but, or whatnot, but I really didn't serve. I don't feel like I served. And there's those guys who's, I served, but I got hurt, but, I don't need those benefits because I never deployed anywhere. And there's those guys who I deployed, but I didn't see combat because I never was under fire. And then you got those guys who served in combat, but they came back home and, well, I didn't get shot up. I didn't lose a hand. I don't deserve it, and whatnot. And I'm like, so none of these guys think they want to apply or whatnot. But I tell guys, man, everybody, you raised your hand. Doesn't matter who you were, right? I said, you wrote a check. And this was a friend of mine told me this. He said, you wrote a check. And Uncle Sam takes that check and he never gives that check back. And it doesn't matter. Nobody knows whether they're going to be deployed. Nobody knows whether they're going to crawl in a burning helicopter or fall off a truck or going to get shot at. The deal is that you wrote the check. And I said, the reason you apply for benefits, and this is how I get a lot of Vietnam veterans to do it. I said, you're not going out to buy a Harley. You're not going to apply so you can have that new truck or boat. I said, you're applying for your family. We got to go do all the cool stuff. We got to fly around, and I was a golf battalion or golf company, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. We were a helo company. I got to do cool things, right? I got to see the world. I got to, I got to travel. I have friends that are mine for the rest of my life. They're closest things I have to a brother. I got to do those things. But the problem is that I also carry the baggage with that. But my family is the one who, my wife and my kids and my mom are the ones who pay interest on that baggage, right? They're the ones who get to pay interest on all of me paying for that. I said, so you apply for those benefits because of them, right? And so that really seems to change a lot how guys apply for them.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you get 100%, your spouse gets medical care covered.
Yes,
and 100% also includes dental.
Yes,
if I remember right.
It does.
And that's the reason I got tired of going back and there's guys who have PTSD from going back and get denied, even though that they have real issues. And it's because no one's put it together for them, or even they haven't gotten diagnosed with it. And that's why Nexus letters are so important. I have two shoulders. My right shoulder I complained about when I got out. My left one I didn't. Well, I'm right-handed. I use my right one all the time. I don't always use my left one. So when I put through the package for this time, my left one got denied. It's exactly the same issue in both shoulders. So if I would have had a Nexus letter, I would have got my left shoulder included. And that's what people don't understand. A lot of these people who help you with your benefits, they try to write these different buddy letters and certain things. They kind of work, and they try to come up with Nexus letter. But an actual Nexus letter from a PA, a doctor, any of those things is the golden ticket, is exactly what you want. You don't want. Am I wrong, Johnny?
No, you're correct. I think you're 100% right. I think you kind of go back to understanding why. Guys, there's four. I think understanding what the VA process is. There's a couple of things. One is there's four main pillars to it. One, guys got to have a problem now. And I think a lot of guys that don't realize